All right, welcome to the Warriors Way. I am your host, Isaac Walsh, and my guest this week is Bob Strygulec. Say hi, Bob.
Hello, audience.
How we doing? We're going to get to him in just a second. If you've not checked out our show, you go to Spiritual Warfare Unit on YouTube, like, share, and subscribe, and you'll get to hang out with our community warriors like Bob. And if you're struggling or you know someone struggling, you want to help on the team, you go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. You click on struggling so you can find our partners that give out food, housing, baby formula, baby clothes, anything that the community needs, and you can be the one that helped them out. So if you know someone struggling, you can be that ray of sunshine for them. All right. So, Bob, you have a nonprofit called the Center of Hope, right?
That's correct. Fenton Center of Hope. We began it in 2016.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so, and I'm assuming it's in Fenton, Michigan?
It is,
okay.
yeah, still in Fenton. We moved to a new location, but we're still located in Fenton.
All right, you can't steal your thunder yet. We know you're moving to the new location. We're going to get to that in a little bit. So Bob has a really unique start. First of all, pronounce your last name for everybody.
Strygulec.
All right, Strygulec, and it is pronounced, it's one of those names with a Y.
That's right.
And so you said that was Polish.
It is Polish. That's what they told me. Yeah.
All right. I think I've been pronouncing it wrong for the better. I would call it Strygulec, but it's Strygulec.
I respond to anything, you know. Going through school, I mean, every class was a different pronunciation.
Yeah. And you know what was funny is like when you were telling me to write it down, I actually wrote it down wrong twice. I was like, son of a gun, that Y is killing me in there. Yeah. So that was a Polish name. All right. So are you originally from like this area in Michigan?
I'm not. No, I grew up in Alma, which is around central Michigan, south of Mount Pleasant.
It's like a farm area.
It is a small farm community. Got a nice college there, but a nice little community.
Yeah. So what was your childhood like?
Basically, probably town trouble. You know,
explain that town trouble. It sounds a story.
I had a good childhood. I mean, really, small town, those kind of things. But you do the things, as far as kids do or young people do.
I don't know what you're talking about. Explain town trouble, because I grew up in like Davison. Like I grew up in Flint most of my life, and I moved out to Davison for like 6 years in my teenage years. But town trouble sounds interesting.
My town was set up with basically a loop of one-way streets. So it was one big like oval track all the way around. And it's amazing how, when the lights are timed, if you line up next to the right person, I mean, you find yourself just, going faster than you should
testing
be.
the durability of the rubber on the tires.
Exactly.
Make sure they're working properly.
Yeah, so it's...
I feel like that's a service to community.
It is, yeah. It makes sure the lights are timed, those kind of things. Make sure
the concrete is black-topped for free.
Yeah. People look both ways before they're crossing, all those things.
No kidding. What were you driving?
Oh, nothing special. No,
that wasn't the point.
It was just for fun. Yeah. But we spent a lot of time going in a loop around the town, those kind of things.
So it's almost very Dukes of Hazzard-y, yeah?
Probably, yeah.
Not quite as exciting, obviously.
Yeah, but my wife always laughs. I mean, when we used to go visit my parents there, it's just cornfields on the way there. Yeah. So cornfields and beet fields. So. True farming community, those kind of things.
All right. So did you, what kind of jobs you have growing up? Anything?
My first job was actually in a grocery store, believe it or not.
Really? What grocery store?
It was called Ashcrafts at that time.
Say that one more time. Ashcrafts?
Ashcrafts, yeah.
It was G-rated, sir. I really need you to keep it. Yeah,
that's right. It was a Spartan store.
Okay.
And to this day...
Were you a bagger?
I started as a bagger, but basically did everything. And still to this day, I tell people that was the job that I had the most fun at, over the past 40 years.
As a bagger? I don't think I've ever heard that before. What made it so fun?
Everything. I mean, you have the crazy stories of, those were
You can't say crazy stories and not tell me one.
Yeah. Okay. So let's say... like the big racks that hold merchandise, the pallet racks in the back.
Yeah.
People making like a little bedroom up there where you can't see where they go, and just going to sleep or
while they're supposed to be working.
So
all right, hold on. Let me get this straight. So you have like a 2-rack thing.
Yep.
So here's what my head's thinking. Like, you got a bunch of Charmin in the front.
Exactly.
And then they hop in the back, and they're behind the Charmin.
Yeah, with a pillow and snacks and a cooler and sandwiches. And
they had a clubhouse at work in the toiletry aisle. Yeah. No kidding.
That's the way it was. And really until, I guess, management or ownership, figured it out, the policy always was if something got broken on the sales floor, like, a pack of Oreos gets ripped open, they just take it back to the break room.
And you have to eat them.
And, well, you got to mark it down on a sheet to make sure. Yeah, it's lost, those kind of things. So it got to the point where, these guys, and, really it took me a while to catch on to this, really. But this guy.
So the loss was just getting higher.
Yeah. The guy was, one guy in particular would say, well, okay, I'm having a sandwich. So I go to the bread aisle. I get, lunch meat. I get cheese. I want.
He was shopping.
I want some watermelon. So obviously one of those is broke.
That has to be true. Yeah. It's so stupid.
It is. So it got to be like that. And
they had to clamp down on it, clearly.
It was, yeah. It had to really clamp down.
So how old were you when you were doing this?
Started like 16. So we did that into early college. So it was a good time, though. Yeah.
All right.
A lot of fun people.
So, like, what year is this? Like 19?
That would have been like what, 79?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So 79, you're 16, 17, you went to high school. Were you like a jock? Were you a cool kid? Were you a nerd?
I did some sports. A lot of bowling, at that time.
What was your average?
Ended about 205.
Wow. So you were good.
Well, yeah. Okay.
Yes, is the right word.
Not in today's standards, but back in the day, yeah, I was.
Yeah,
okay,
anything over 200 was considered really good, right?
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, it was. It's okay to say yes. It's good. All right, so 79, 80, she graduated in what, 81?
83. Yeah.
83?
So 83 I graduated.
Okay. And you said you went to college. Did you go to Alma?
I went to Michigan State for the first year, and then finished up at Central Michigan University. So, all
right. And what was your major?
At that point, it was business administration and restaurant management.
Really, restaurant management?
So I was.
That's crazy. That's exactly what I went for.
Is it?
Is that nuts?
Yeah.
You said that. I just started giggling.
Yeah.
Wow. Because you think, oh yeah, no. Yeah. I was wrong.
It's knowledge, but at this point,
it's a knowledge base, but a career path. It
hasn't been.
Yeah. No, that those poor people that are in the restaurant business. 10% breakage on costs out, and then a non-alcoholic is you're not making anything.
It's hard. A lot of long hours.
Oh man, those 3 a.m. nights get rough.
It does. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. All right. So you graduated at how old are you? 18 or 19?
18.
And then, how many years were you in college?
4 years.
All right. Anything substantial happen in college? Meet anybody specific? Anything that, this specific story stands out?
Not necessarily.
You're just good and studious and no racing or anything?
No, I had to leave Michigan State, just move back home.
Yeah.
Too much partying.
That freshman 15.
Yeah, blew out all my speakers on my stereo, all those things.
Well, yeah.
There was a guy up the hall that also liked Van Halen at the time, so he and I
don't think anyone's ever heard of that band. Small band.
Yeah, small band. So, a little bit too much Eddie Van Halen on the speakers.
Yeah,
it's just
So were you studious? Like, did you find college difficult?
I tried to be studious, and there literally were times where this room down the hall was literally like the party room. So it was
the party room.
Yeah, and if you weren't there when they wanted you there, they'd be pounding on your door. Even doesn't matter if you're studying or have an exam tomorrow. It didn't matter. So I think the top grade point in that room was about 1.1 for the first year. So,
oh my goodness!
So he was.
That was the average?
No, that was the best. The rest were down from there. So,
oh my goodness!
Yeah. So,
yeah, you know something? You're ringing a bell of some stories in college that happened to me. The defensive lineman. It was funny. I was a soccer player. That was 100 pounds ago, but the defensive linemen from the football team, they would come in and they would say, "You owe us drinks, Coca-Cola, Mountain Dew, Pepsi, things of that nature." And so I was like, "Yeah, we're not doing this, boys."
Okay.
And so me and the defensive end got into a disagreement. And out of that disagreement, we became really good buddies. He was like, I didn't know somebody that little could fight that hard, right? And so we ended up being really good buddies. So everywhere I went, I was like 5'7", 160 pounds, and I was rolling with like 10, 300-pound guys all the time.
Yeah.
And so we created a little bit of havoc. And my grade point average was above 1.1.
Okay.
So I'm feeling pretty solid about that. But the fact that that was the top.
Yeah.
Wow. So you actually, that's the reason why you had to leave.
Yeah. I mean,
did you make that decision, or like your parents?
No, I did. Yeah.
You knew?
I knew. I mean, if you're spending that kind of money,
right?
And, you know,
you're wasting it.
Yeah, you're wasting it. My dad, my parents worked hard. They're immigrants from Poland.
Okay.
So they worked hard. They helped me a lot, you know, with funding towards college, those kind of things. But yeah, I was wasting time, wasting money.
Yeah.
You know, those
now, what did they do?
So,
were they farmers or?
My dad worked for GM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I mean, he just passed away, you know, recently. And his story was that he missed 2 days of work in 30 years working at GM. Total. Yeah.
2 days total.
Yeah, exactly.
Like sick days, kids, weddings, birthdays.
Yeah. I mean, he was driving an hour into work from Alma to Saginaw.
Wow.
And he would make it in during a snowstorm when guys 5 minutes away from the plant couldn't make it. So,
man, what a great work ethic, dude.
Yep.
And that's in your history.
It is.
My dad's like that, too. My dad did 37 years as a high-low driver. That dude didn't miss work, man.
Yeah.
He just got up there and get it done and come home. And he's like, if you're doing something, you might as well get paid for the time you're doing it. And I was like,
work hard.
I'm like, shoot, that makes all the sense in the world. All right, with that, we're going to head to our break. This is our Warrior of the Week is Bob from the Center of Hope in Fenton. You can check out his website at fentoncenterofhope.org and see what they're doing. If you'd like to check out and volunteer or possibly donate things that you're doing. If you haven't gone to our life application class, go to spiritualwarfareunit.com on there. And for $1 a day, you can check out videos that will help you see different ways of looking in your life and making better decisions. With that, we'll go to break, and we will be right back. Taking a quick break from our podcast, I wanted to let you know about our life application program that we have for churches and nonprofits in the area that are trying to find programming that they can use in case the corona shuts you down and you're not able to get in. You go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. Click on our episodes, and you can check out our programs for as little as $29.99 a month to make sure that we're still getting the word out to those people that need it. Now, back to the program. All right, welcome back to the Warrior's Way. This is our second session. We're going to get into how Bob left from college and got into the next section of his life. So when you graduated, you were 23, you said?
Yes.
All right. And so were you still staying in Alma, like with the parents and all that?
I was. I got married in 93. So.
All right, hold on. Let's see. So we graduated in 81.
83 high school.
All right, so you graduated college in 87.
Yes.
All right, so you can't just jump into the marriage thing. So 87 you graduated. So then what happened?
I was working some management jobs in some restaurants. So yeah, did that for a while.
All right, so there's a 5-year. So this 5 years, you're doing what? Getting your own place?
Yeah.
Finding now. Did you stay in that area?
I did stay in that area. So I was in the Alma area and Mount Pleasant, nearby. So
now were you an a dater? Like, did you do a lot of like? Did you have a big social life, or are you just a good worker guy?
Not
like
really.
Your dad?
Yeah, mostly just a worker. Yeah.
Yeah. How is your social skills? Would you on a grade like from an A to an E? Like
Right.
I'm a D plus.
Yeah, I'd probably say a C. My wife would probably say a D minus or something.
Yeah.
So,
well, and that's one of the things I love about you, because when we first met, I said, "Listen, I'm a little social," and she's like, "Oh, you're gonna love my husband." And I was like, and we talked, and it was like very hyper logical. This is the answer, and this is this, and I felt so comfortable with you. It was so great, and I don't get that very often because mostly they're like, "Well, how you doing? What are you up to? What are you doing?" And you're like, "Yeah,
yeah,
nothing. How you doing?" So okay, so you're just working, leaving. So got your how? What did you get, a house, an apartment? Like, what
really
was
just
that?
an apartment. Yeah.
Okay.
And
So you're dating your wife when? Like, when did you meet? When did that happen? 93. You said you got married, so you didn't like instantaneously.
No,
get married.
it was prior to that. But at that point, when I was starting to date, my first wife, I was working with Walmart.
Okay.
And I was on the management team of one of the first Walmarts here in Michigan.
Wow.
So I had been sent down to Ohio for training.
Okay.
And so that was sort of my transition out of, grocery and restaurant work into retail.
How did you like it?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a good company. Actually, back in the day, at one of the grand openings or around that time, Sam Walton came to Michigan. He came to the Mount Pleasant, Michigan store.
Okay.
And he was just his old Sam. He stood up on the register, got on the PA, talked to everybody, talked about store numbers and everything. Didn't matter who heard or anything.
No kidding.
And they needed somebody to take him back to the airport, and so we went. I took him.
You took him?
Yeah. So
he was just a regular dude.
he was a regular dude, and on the way back to the airport, he said, "Hey, I heard of these Meijer stores," and we were passing one. He said, "I want to go check it out." And I think at that time, he had a gentleman's agreement or something not to go into grocery. And a buddy of his said they wouldn't go into retail.
Yeah.
So, but he really was wondering about the concept of like a Meijer store.
Gotcha.
So we walked through the Meijer store, and he wanted to see the back. And so when you start seeing the doors that say employees only, he didn't stop, and I'm following right in. So we go walking through the whole back. And,
like he owns the place.
Well, and I'm like, okay, well, if I'm going to get arrested, I guess this is the guy to do it with.
Yeah, right.
So, we walked through there. Nobody stopped us. Nobody even noticed. And we walked through it all and, went from there. So he was, that was really the time where Walmart was known for the founder and the company and taking care of the people, all those things.
All of that. Yeah. It was a really good thing back, and now it's like this colloquial joke, but like it's a good place to work. Yeah, like you can see the transition going there.
Yeah, one of the people that we hired as a part-time garden associate. Working maybe 20 hours a week, just regular hourly work. Yeah. He ended up being a store manager, possibly a district manager.
Wow.
So he was probably making close to $150,000-$200,000 a year.
Wow.
And started out just,
doing garden
stuff.
Man, that's cool.
Yeah.
So you did this for that 5 years till 93, and then you got married. Did you have kids right away?
We did, yes. And I had actually I'm giving you the wrong date. So
here we go.
So here we go.
When I get perfect, I'm going to cuss you out. Okay? I promise.
So I think I'm too nervous or something.
Oh,
so
you're doing fine.
Second marriage was 93.
Okay.
First one was 1990.
Oh, okay. So that was a young oopsie.
Yeah. No. We were married and had a child. And my son is now 30 years old.
Okay.
32 this year.
Yeah.
From 1990 to 22. My wife found out that she had leukemia, when she was pregnant. So yeah, that's the story. She was working at Walmart at that time, also had a second job.
Wow.
Those kind of things. But so at that time, we were young, working hard, just trying to make it,
just
those
live.
kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thought, okay, being tired, it's just part of the norm.
Part of the two jobs and kid. And
being pregnant, all that.
Yeah.
When she called and said, hey, doctor wants to talk to us or whatever, she found out she's, had leukemia.
Wow.
Ended up having our son almost 8 weeks early.
Wow, okay.
So he's fine now, just has a little hearing loss and things.
All right.
But she passed away 2 years later.
Okay, so that'd have been
92.
92.
Yeah.
Okay. So then where did you meet Jen?
I met at that time, Walmart relocated me to the Flint store. So Corunna Road was just opening at that time.
You were managing the Corunna Road store?
I was the co-manager at that time. So
right.
It was myself and another guy and another team.
So this is 93, 94?
92-ish.
92, 93.
Yeah,
so you're
93.
26? 25, 27, right in there?
27, probably.
Okay,
yeah.
just trying to get to mine.
Yeah.
Trying to get the young face spot.
So at that time, I had been doing things, in our community prior to moving. A lot of, let's say, bowling fundraisers. And
now, is that something like you've always done, or is it just something that you like doing? Yeah, how did you get into that originally? Something your parents got you into?
No, nothing my parents really did, but something I enjoyed doing.
Okay.
And it was something that I did prior to coming to Flint.
Okay.
And during the grand opening of this store, it was prior to the store opening.
Okay.
We really, I came to the store they gave me the role of community involvement manager.
All right.
So
you're real good at putting these things together.
Yeah, just, orchestrating different things and, getting the right things done for a grand opening. They want to make sure, everything goes right and those
All
kind
right,
of
so
things.
so you met your wife where? Come on, Bob.
She worked at Walmart.
All right.
And she had recently lost employment. Whole story. Her dad said, hey, Walmart's hiring. She didn't want to go to work at Walmart.
So she walks in and you're like, hey, how are you?
Well, no, she was already there. I wasn't there quite yet.
So you came in.
She interviewed with the other co-manager. And, he said, you've got, she had background of doing things in the community here in Flint.
Do you guys have rules about dating employees and all that?
It's funny. At that time.
He says it's funny.
Walmart was going through a major, sexual harassment, lawsuits.
Yeah, right.
So we as management were doing these meetings with the staff saying, okay, you can't date, you can't do any of these. So they put myself and Jen in an office together for about 3 months. Yeah. And we just, worked side by side, talked, did all the planning, do everything that we do basically now.
And then the fraternizing went right out the window.
It just...
But
it happened over time,
Sure.
It really, we just talked and all those things.
So how long was that process?
About 3 months.
And then you were just that was that. She's a great person. She's such a hard worker.
She is. Yeah. And the funny thing was her mom and dad, I walked in the store before it opened. Yeah. And they were just, talking with her and they said, "Well, where's this Bob guy you keep talking about?" Ooh. And because she was
telling the parents about it.
Apparently she was.
Apparently.
She didn't realize it. She said, "Well, here he is. I meet him. No big, nothing arranged or anything." And they tell her later that night, "Well, no, nothing's going to happen. He's just not right. He's not your type. He's not your type."
Look at him. That's not the guy,
that's
man.
That's not the guy. So
it's so funny.
So it's those kind of things. But yeah, that ended up
with marriage.
With marriage,
you were the guy.
About 6 months later, and as I'm doing presentations at the store to say, we can't fraternize, all those.
I'm
things.
Getting married to another.
I give her a call after work one day. And her dad,
you hypocrite, Bob.
Her dad answered the phone, and he said, "Bob from Walmart's on the phone for you." So she takes the call, and I say, "Hey, do you want to go out for dinner sometime?"
Yeah.
She thought I was testing her to see if
break the rule.
Yeah, if she would break the rules.
That's perfect.
So,
oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Finally, she did agree. We did go out to eat, and spent time together, those kind of things. So
and it's rolled in. All right. And then you had kids?
We did, yeah. Right. We've got two daughters. So yeah.
All right. So from 93, 94 to 2016 is when you started Center of Hope, right?
Yes.
So that was just, what were you doing in that immediate time? That just life and the kids and raising and jobs and all that?
It is, yeah. And during that time, prior to starting Center of Hope, we ran a local food pantry and baby closet out of a local church for 12 years or so.
All right.
So, yeah.
So you giving back to the community is something that you guys have always done.
It is, yeah. We have, always felt blessed, with everything that we have. We look forward, always to bless others, and it's in us. Our kids have done mission trips, all those things. So.
I love all the things that you guys do. This is why I'm having you on the show. This is great. I want people to meet you because you and Jen's story is a great story, and the things that you've gone through, the difficulties and the frustrations and all that stuff makes it a great story. And the fact that your parents came from Poland and you're here makes it a great story. And then you guys are just generally good people. And this is why I love doing is showing people. So we're going to go to our quick break, and when we come back, we're going to start our gem session. We're going to get a couple of funny stories from our guests. If you haven't gone to FentonCenterofHope.org to check out what they're doing, please do that. If you haven't gone to our website yet to see who's struggling, to go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. Hit like and subscribe and share on our YouTube channel, and we will be right back.
I'm really impressed with the teachings that Isaac has been bringing to us, as this is all based from Proverbs.
I like it because it's simple, and it doesn't matter who you are. It's very easy to understand and apply to your life.
It points out, my bad parts, and but it's showing me how to do the good parts. And I'm trying to apply that and make a better life for myself, because I'm tired of where I've been.
It's impacted a lot of the guys as they continue to talk and ask questions after the meetings, as they speak to one another regarding the meeting and the messages and the topics that are being brought up, which are down-to-earth topics of situations and things that we live with on a day-to-day basis.
He takes the Bible and he breaks it down into simple terms and where you can understand. And like I said before, sometimes a lot of churches, even the Salvation Army, sometimes we start using these big words that people don't understand, like even saying someone got saved. Well, what does that mean? What does it mean when you say someone got saved? And it's accepting Jesus into your heart. So it's like words like that we use that people don't understand.
It's just very interesting how he points out, the different things of, the sin part, and then he comes back with the, how to make it better, and he just points it out. It's there. I didn't know all this stuff was in there, but now that he's pointing it out, it's like, wow, I guess if you really dig into the Bible, you find these things.
This is a daily moral standards that we can live by, that the teachings are coming from. And honestly, we can take verse by verse as what he's done, and pretty much he's done the hard work for us and now laying it out so that we have an easier understanding.
There's some people who don't like to be in Bible classes, but this one seems to get their attention.
I could stab myself in the face with a pen, Are we back? Yeah. All right, we're back. We're having one of those shows today. Welcome back to the Warrior's Way. Our warrior this week is Bob Strygulec from Fenton Center of Hope, and you do basically food distribution?
We do a lot more than food.
Okay.
So sure.
Before we're going to get into that,
Okay.
I wanted people to know that was one of the main things. So this is our gem session, and in our gem session, going through your life and experiences. Inevitably, there's some funny things that happen along the way, where either you're getting embarrassed or you're embarrassing or getting embarrassed. And so we like to ask our guests some funny things that they recall that happened along the way. So you had some stuff. So what do you got there?
Okay.
He says, okay.
There's always stories, but when I think of like people that we assist, sometimes there's in my mind there's an obvious answer,
Right.
and
That logic side of you.
yeah, you start looking and you start saying, okay, here's how I can help,
Right.
those kind of things, and sometimes it's the best people that really. I don't understand an answer sometimes. So
Right.
when it comes to something funny, I mean, it's like when somebody tells me that they haven't dated for a while and they just are struggling, but they're happy with somebody that they found and they think, oh, this is the one, and this is good, and then they start telling me some of their little habits and things. So.
Yeah.
The one that really stuck out to me was when somebody, thought they found
The one.
the one.
Yeah.
And she happened to use this guy's shower at his place.
Yeah.
And she moved the soap, and he didn't like that. But what she moved it for was so she could use the soap dish for a ashtray.
So not to clean.
No.
No.
While she's taking a shower, apparently. So,
Well, wait a minute. Hold on, Bob. She's using the soap as an ashtray while she's showering.
apparently. Where the soap
That's
went, I
not
don't know.
what. Listen, that's not what it's for.
It's not. No?
Like when you're used to not taking showers so much that you think the soap is the ashtray.
Yeah.
What we have here is a failure to communicate. Oh my
Something's
gosh,
missing.
dude! I love that story so much because it's like when you're doing jail ministry, right? And people come in there and their reasons for getting first of all, when they say, well, listen, chap, I caught a case. I was like, you were running away from it, but
Okay.
it just caught you. It ran up and caught you, right? And my favorite one is he said, well, it's really not my fault I went to jail. It was my girlfriend's fault. And I said, oh yeah, how's that? And he said, well, if we wouldn't have got an argument, then I wouldn't have had to put the crack in my pocket.
Yeah.
And then and then I left because we got in an argument, and then the police were there when I came out. And I was like, hold on a minute. The police were already there as you left the door. He said, yes. I said, so clearly that there was a domestic of some dispute that somebody called the boys down to have you respond. Well, yeah, it was loud, but, that's not the point.
That's normal.
Yeah, and I was like, and then the second part that's evading my comprehension is, why did you have the crack in the first place?
Okay.
Well, you got to unwind after a hard day of work. And I'm like, out of all of them, we're going to use the one that sounds like a part of your backside. We're going to use that one, like the worst one. And it was just like, well, yeah, I was, I'm going to be in jail. I might as well sober up anyways. And I'm turning negative into a positive. And I'm like, I don't even know what to do with that, right?
Oh, man.
And their mind, the justification of that negative action is unbelievable. And it's like, addiction gets everybody, and I get that. But it's like if your thought process is to support a negative outcome, then you got to look at why you're supporting that, right?
Yes,
and if that outcome isn't working for you, and I feel that at a very visceral level with you on that, and it's really true. The people you hang around, you only hang around people you have stuff in common with.
That's right.
The question is, what do you have in common with those people, right? So, like, our thing is we like to help people. That's why we hang out.
Yeah, that's
in that scenario, it was clearly something less helpful.
Less helpful. Yes, that's right.
All right, so we had hit the life stage. Late 20s, early 30s, late 90s, early 2000s. Like you're going through there, and was it just steady? Were you and the wife working and the kids and the raising? And
It was, and we always, we had talked, we would want to do something meaningful to make a difference in people's lives when the time was right. So we always said, hey, when we have enough money, when the kids are out of the house, all those kind of things. So we kept seeing the same cycles, a lot of generational issues of people just looking for assistance, not moving forward, not.
What do you mean cycle? Like the family would have some kind of struggle financially, and the kids would have some. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly. So a lot of that, what we had been seeing, handing out food, handing out resources is great, but it's not eliminating the problem.
Right. It's not fixing their problem.
Yeah. So we really try to look at the underlying root causes. And we had talked and we said, yeah, when the time's right, let's do something. And I'm a planner. So for years, I feel God was putting a vision on my heart to say, when the time's right, we're going to run a center. It's going to have a food pantry. It's going to have, all the things.
Yeah.
But also be able to do mentoring and life skills and, counseling and, come alongside somebody or a family and provide a support system, which a lot of times is missing.
Yeah, because they don't even know what to ask for to look for, right?
Yeah.
So you said you do more than food. So first of all, they have this little, it's a little store. I don't know how else to explain it. And you go in there and you got a shopping cart. Now people just set up an appointment, is that?
They do, yes.
All right, so you go to FentonCenterofHope.org, you click on there, set an appointment, and then you go into your cart, you fill the cart, right?
Yep.
And then is this like a weekly thing, a monthly thing?
We let people come through twice a month. Right now we're finishing up some renovations on a new building, so people aren't coming in right now.
Is it bigger?
Yeah, it is bigger.
Okay.
That's good.
Good. That thing was packed, bro.
It was. So,
Yeah.
But the cool thing that we also try to do is we have a personal shopper go around with each guest.
Okay.
So what we look to do is when people are struggling putting meals together, or they just really can't figure, what do I
So like
feed my
dietary,
kids?
like you're helping them with that?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
We always try to have things like low salt options, maybe gluten-free options, different things that people need. Really, it's trying to provide God's best for people in need. And really, we're looking to, from that, build a relationship and trust so that people know they can open up to us and say, hey, you can help with this other need that I didn't tell you about yet.
Yeah.
So here's what's really holding me back.
Yeah, this is the reason why I need the help, because this is what I'm struggling with.
Yeah.
Now, do you guys provide like that therapy or counseling or anything like that?
Right now, we've got a few people of our team. 6 of us are going through biblical counseling training.
Okay.
We're completing our first year of a 3-year program, so we are, part of another church that is doing that in town. And what we provide right now, we have about 52 moms on a monthly basis going through mentoring with one-on-one mentoring with our team.
Okay.
So they come in and get things, but they're also being assigned coursework from a program called Bright Course.
Okay.
And they have probably 200-something modules that we can specifically assign to whatever that person's needs are. So it's pretty cool.
All right, so that's a whole year. That's a couple years.
Yeah, they don't go through all of them. But we handpick those, and really prior to COVID, we were looking at that program of implementing it.
Yeah.
The cost was really high, but what happened with COVID, the company actually said, hey, we're going to make this available online.
Outstanding.
The price was more affordable, so we're committed to offering that for our people. So.
All right, man. And again, this is why I had you on, because when I'll tell people, Center of Hope, they're like, what is that? And I'm like, are you for real? But like, if you're not looking for the help, I mean, I guess why would you look for it, right? And so like, if someone wanted to like come in and volunteer, do you use volunteer help at all?
We do.
Okay.
And really,
We do.
really with this new property that we have. In our part of the county, southern Genesee, and going into northern Livingston and things, there's a lack of short-term emergency housing. And with our baby closet especially, and all the moms we come in contact with, we run across a lot of women and women with children that are fleeing abusive relationships or battered, all those kind of things. So the worst thing for me is to run across, I always, tell my wife the same story, but the young girl that's in the Target parking lot, 20-something years old with a 3-year-old, in the winter, no gas and no money, and nowhere to go. So we love the Flint shelters and things, but a lot of times it's hard to get someone in. So what we dreamt about this, we kept telling or, talking to other organizations saying, hey, you guys should do something about this.
You should do this. And then you get sick of waiting and you're like, you know what, I'll just do it.
So, well, we had not planned on doing this quickly, but with a need to move from our prior location, God opened the door for a property that used to be used to house some boys in the area. And literally, we've got 3 homes on the property that are about 8,000 square feet each. And we're gonna be starting renovations, those kind of things very shortly. And the intent is to really provide that short-term housing. So let's say a woman in need, whether she's coming out of a program or just coming off the street, a lot of times it's that gap where they need time to catch up on the bills, get fines and
save the money to be able to get a place.
All that kind of stuff. Maybe they don't have a car, maybe they don't have a job, but for us to step alongside that person and then provide some support, and get them a positive, momentum going forward.
Man, Bob, I love you guys so much. This is such great stuff. This is why I had you on, because this is the type of people that we have ready for you. So if you are struggling, you are not alone. You haven't been alone. You just didn't know it, right? So we're bringing these people to it. That's why we have this podcast. We're going to take a quick break. If you haven't gone to spiritualwarfareunit.com, please check that out. If you are struggling, hit struggling, and you can find people like Bob. Be happy to help you out. Cost you nothing. If you haven't seen his website, go to FentonCenterofHope.org. And with that, we will be right back. So people that are talking about breaking the rules use their fingers to speak to each other. And that's what gangs do to communicate from point A to point B. It's almost like this has been in the Bible for 2,000 years, and people feel like it's a new thing. That is unbelievable, isn't it? That things that are happening in your life today are in here from 2,000 years ago. That's very weird. Whenever you're ready. All right, welcome back to the Warrior's Way. Our warrior this week is Bob Strygulec, and we're finishing up with the Center of Hope out of Fenton. Now, you said you're moving to a bigger building. Is it still in Fenton?
It is in Fenton, on North Fenton Road, right in front of Camp Copenaconic.
All right, does it have an address? Just so
it does, 10401 North Fenton Road.
All right, that's Fenton, Michigan?
It is.
All right, I'm writing that down. And so people can go to FentonCenterofHope.org, and the address will be there, phone number to set up and call.
It would.
So people are listen, if you got family, we all have family that's struggling, and we have friends that are struggling. Send them to this. You get to be the hero. Tell them about a place that can help them out. Then get some food and help for free, and help them. Help me, help you, help them.
Exactly.
I mean, and everybody gets a win. I mean, you guys need them to take the food. They need the food. That family member wants to help them out. I mean, this is easy money right here. Everybody gets a W. So, all right. So, do you do fundraising events? Do you take donations? Do you have what kind of things you do?
We do it all. On the food side, we have organizations and groups do food drives for us.
Mm-hmm.
We have local churches do things that we called bags on the bumper. So literally, members, congregants bring a bag of food, leave it on their bumper, and people from the church gather it. And
like they know it's on their bumper, though, right?
yeah, they know it's on their bumper.
They're not leaving going on.
No, and
Okay.
I mean, but we have groups. Junior League of Flint helped us out. They got 500 boxes of cereal for us recently.
Wow, cool.
All those kind of things. So it takes a lot of different sources.
All right, so if somebody wanted to like donate money, are you having like an event?
We are actually this coming week, May 18th.
Okay.
And we're having that at Genesis Banquet Center. Right. That event already is packed out. So we
can't take any more money because it's packed.
Not. I'll never turn down the money.
Yeah.
Really, we've been blessed. We've got nearly 300 people coming that night, and the goal that I'm really in my mind, my heart, I'd like to accumulate $300,000 on that night.
Yeah,
and really, as fast as the money is coming in, no matter how good of a manager and things we are. It's going out fast. And,
it's showing that that what you're doing is working.
It is.
You know what I mean? And the people that you're helping. And I remember during COVID, one of the first things is we go in there and you have back when nobody knew what was going on, and you have to make a decision. Am I willing to die to help these people? That was a conscious decision. And you guys were in it. You're like, yeah, we're in it. And we were in it from day one. And like, let's go. And it was fun. And it was scary and fun and nervous and fun. And then you're helping all these people. And this is what you do all the time.
It is. And we're always, our team and, my wife and I, we're all committed. We're all in on anything. I mean, at that time, the leadership of Sheriff Swanson here was just enormous for our community and our county. But really, we just want to love on people. And COVID is not something that we're going to say we're going to shut down and not be helping people. Right. So we remained open the full time. Our numbers went up probably about 400%. Going on early. Yeah, we had people and groups from all over the county coming to our location to pick up food for deliveries.
Right.
And I mean, that was huge.
Yeah, we had like 50 volunteers. It was nuts. Yeah, you guys were awesome. That was some long days.
It was some long days, and I mean, it's
fruitful though.
Very fruitful, and our philosophy always is, when there's a problem, when there's an issue, we're always going to say yes and figure out the how.
There's a song that if you got a problem, I'll solve it.
That's it. We try.
That's your theme song.
Yeah.
Ice, baby.
There's so many groups that through COVID, groups and churches, have really partnered with us, and I mean that's the thing. Our heart, our vision for the future is working together with people in the community. Being the church, getting out there, no denominations, those kind of things.
Yeah, hands and feet, man.
Yeah,
that's what I told somebody. I was talking with some guy, and he's like, "I can't believe you work with the Catholics." I'm like, "Dude, their Catholic Charities thing is the best thing going. I mean, they got this down to a T, right?" And I said, "I tell you what, let's feed them, let's clothe them, let's help them find a place to stay, and then, by God, let's argue about theology. But let's do it in that order. By the time you get done for the first three, you're too tired.
You're too tired.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. So do you have anything like, you have any community events coming up or anything that people know about?
We do. The next one should be July 4th, and we'll be combining, right now, I believe there's 8 or 9 churches that'll be, joining together for that, as well as our organization, a few local businesses, those kind of things. And again, in events, what we put things together, we want to bless the community, but we're always looking to build community for people too and give them hope. So people that we may be serving, we want to show that they're not any different than anybody else, that they're coming to events, they're right alongside church people, that church people won't bite, all those kind of things.
Not going to shun them.
Yeah.
Not going to not fit in.
It's literally, nobody knows who's in need. Nobody knows who's a millionaire.
Right.
And it's
well, and as long as you don't have to put up any no biting signs.
That's it. Yeah. So it's, we have fun, and it's literally some of these events.
Like, where's it at?
July 4th,
Yeah.
I believe we're going to have it at our new property on Fenton Road. So we're finalizing some of the details.
And what is it? Like, what are you doing?
What we'll have is it'll basically be like a carnival atmosphere. So we'll have food, we'll have music,
bounce houses.
Yeah, last year we smoked 2 pigs.
That sounds terrible.
Yeah, it is. Barbecue is always good, though.
Yeah, right. Yeah, absolutely. You know, is there any other events that you have up of the year? Or is that just your 2 big events, like the banquet and the rest of it you're just working?
No, we have events probably every month or 2.
Okay.
And we'll have those posted, on our website for upcoming events.
So what we're going to do is we're going to post those events on spiritualwarfareunit.com calendar. Okay. And then we're going to get a link to Fenton Center of the Hope. So when they go to Struggling, they can find you. And to be a help. I look forward to helping and being a part of these events if we can. If I can talk my producer into hanging out and eating barbecue. He's not a real big barbecue guy. But the man eats barbecue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So
we'll put on a 3rd pigs. We'll be ready.
Yeah, and I love this. And the craziest part is like amount of people that didn't know what you were doing blew my mind. And the crazy part is the ones that needed it that didn't have it, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you've been doing this since 2016.
Yes.
Right? So what do you think your overall scope of like what it's going to look like? You're just adapting a problem solution type scenario.
Really, we're highly adaptable. Right now, everything that we do, we look to make sure that it's scalable, that whatever the issue or problem that comes across our community, that we're able to address it. And we've built so many good partnerships with churches and businesses that right now, I feel there isn't a problem too big for us to say, no, we can't handle it.
Right.
And when I say we, it's not Center of Hope, it's we as a community. Yeah.
It's a group.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing that COVID taught me. The beautiful thing I brought out about is there's a bunch of people that want to help. Because, honestly, I had got kind of, down about life in the United States and the stress and the drama and the situation and all that stuff. And COVID showed me there's a whole bunch of people that want to help, right? And I wasn't aware of that. And the people that need to know didn't know.
They didn't know.
Right? Isn't that crazy?
It
The
is.
people we're trying to reach. And so my whole function is to provide that to the people that have nothing so they can get this, so they can get the help and we can help them. I mean, it sounds ludicrous that it doesn't happen, but what happens is you guys are so busy doing the work. The ability to get the word out that what you're doing is only in your circle.
Yeah.
Right? And so we're just trying to widen that circle for you, buddy, because you and Jen do great work, man.
And we're looking on that, we're talking about that on our team. The role that Jen and I have had over the past years, as we grow now, we're getting out, we're speaking more, we're doing public, presentations at churches and, businesses, those kind of things. So if you're out there and you would like us to come out and do a presentation, we're available. We want to get the word out.
So your presentation is what? Like just what you do?
Really what we do and how we can bless others. There's a lot of things that we're going to be putting into place and that we have in place already that really are ways that we can show you or help you reach your neighbors and love on your neighbors and your neighborhoods. And there's a lot of great ideas, and it takes a lot of people to do these things. So we're trying to get the word out.
All right, so you have housing that you're getting into. You have food. You have counseling, training for...
We have an initiative that we're moving forward that we call Love Our City. And we've seen this put into place a few different places here in Michigan as well as down in Florida. And really all it is, groups and people and churches pulling together under the banner of just saying, hey, we want to love on our city, love on our people. We love because Christ first loved us.
Right.
And, literally that's what we're trying to do. So whether it's blessing somebody with a new chair or a couch or, providing a table and chairs for a mom that doesn't have a dining room table.
Right.
these people might get something like that and sit there and start bawling. And I'm literally a 40-year-old mom had no table up until that point in her life.
Yeah.
A table's brought in. She's sitting there, with, volunteers at the table, led to the Lord, and now she attends a church.
Yeah, and I was a kid, and my mom struggled with addiction, and we slept on the floors, and then we were grateful to have a mattress.
Yeah.
Dinner table wasn't even an option. That's not even one of the things we had. Like, we were fighting for food.
Yes.
Like, and I remember having to make tomato soup with ketchup and water and telling my brother how good it was. And,
Okay. Yeah.
And having that white box of cornflakes that would never go soggy in 100 years because I don't know what they're made out of, and putting water on it and saying we're trying to lose weight. I grew up in that. I starved as a kid, and it wasn't really anybody's fault. It was just the nature of how it went down. And so that is why my passion is very much with helping you guys out. And God just grew that from what we're doing. And I am really, really excited that you guys came on the show. I'm super excited to support what you're doing. I'm really looking forward to, letting people know more about what you're doing. And of course, our church list is very long. So whenever you want to break into that and be like, hey, let's just, put up or shut up, right?
Yeah.
Like, either do it or don't do it, but now's the time. Because I got a feeling that if both of us are there, we can be very annoying.
And it's literally, we're in a spot right now that we can help others in the community. It's not that we want to take over anything or do anything, but there's so many people in the community that say things like, I wish I could do something for my neighbor.
Yeah.
I wish I could do or be part of a
Well,
group.
and the thing is, just like churches, they have like a small food pantry, or they have a clothing thing, and they got like one lady that's doing that. And all you're saying is, instead of relying on the church to do that, because you got your pastor and your assistant pastor, and they're trying to manage that church, that's its own job.
It is.
And we're coming along going, listen, we'll just third-party contract this sucker and work with the church, and we'll just manage that for you, but we'll be a partner with you. That's basically what you're saying.
It is, and we're finding churches with different target, like their age groups. So sometimes a church might have a great heart, like super great prayer team,
Yeah, they got a
prayer
vein they
warriors.
like. Yeah.
But they need some young blood to do the heavy lifting.
Right.
So we pair churches up, along with us, and we bring the help, we bring the workers, we bring our truck, whatever's needed.
Because you know what's going on in my brain right now is I'm like, dude, when you're doing this, I just call Salvation Army, and we'll get the Sally boys over there. We'll call Life Challenge. We'll get some of the Life Challenge boys out there, and you can go do some things.
That is.
And go punch that out. And then people want to donate time. The teenage groups at church, they want to donate time. It's like, dude, I'm thinking of like 5 guys right now. Like, we just get them over there and just get it done.
Yeah.
Like, say yes or no, but figure it out, right?
That's right. We had the Life Challenge at our back to school event last year. They were great.
Yeah,
we
great
love the
group.
Life Challenge guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the Sally guys too, because they fight to be able to talk about God in their program, and I definitely support all that stuff. Well, Bob, believe it or not, our time is done. That went super fast, buddy. I absolutely enjoyed you on. If you've not gone to the Center of Hope, FentonCenterofHope.org, please check out their program. Excellent program. If you are struggling, someone's struggling, go to spiritualwarfareunit.com. Please go to YouTube, Spiritual Warfare Unit, like, share, and subscribe, and we will see you next week. Do you have a nonprofit in your area that's doing a lot of work that people should know about? Feel free to contact Spiritual Warfare Unit at 810-715-9319, and we would love to have them on to see what good they're doing in the community and find out their story. Thank you so much.
Spent so much time believing the lies. I knew I wasn't meant to live this way, but my walls came down when your love shone through. Now my life will never be the same. You love me too much to let me stay this way.